Hey y'all, it's Cindy Cobb with Around the Town in the South, and I am in the Mississippi Delta. I'm here in Belzoni, Mississippi, sitting here with my cousin Bubba Braswell of Braswell Farms, farmers for generations and generations. We're actually sitting out here in the cotton patch. And we're actually on one of the rows, which I think is so amazing. But you know, when you think about the Mississippi Delta and you think about Mississippi, you think about farm and agriculture, because that's what our state is around. And by the way, thank you so much for my shirt, Cotton and Tumbleweeds. I love it. One of our sponsors for this vlog is Cotton and Tumbleweeds. They're in Flora, Mississippi. Also Nandy's Candy right there in Jackson, Mississippi, but you can order online. So thank you for our sponsors. So
that's a cute shirt, by the way.
Isn't it darling? Yeah. And it says a homemade, homemade.
I noticed that when you came
cotton. I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Perfect shirt for the...
Perfect shirt for the vlog.
For the vlog.
Well, anyway, I got Bubba out of the cotton field, out of the fish farming thing this morning, because we wanted to do it at, daybreak, where you could really see the sun on the cotton the way that it is. It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, just looking at it, it just looks like snow out here.
Yeah, it does. And I told you before you got here, it'd be a little crisp, a little nip in the air. It's kind of like harvest time.
It is so nice this morning. Yeah, it is a little nippy.
It is.
It's nippy, but it's nice. Tell us a little bit about, you're a generational farmer. If you don't know this, Bubba's daddy, Big Denon, who will be riding the roads in just a few minutes, we'll see him. He still loves this industry. He still loves what he does. He's out here talking, and he just loves to be involved still, and he's 80 years old.
Yeah, he still cracks the whip. Big time.
He is my mother's first cousin, and so that's my mother grew up in Belzoni. They used to pick cotton, my daddy and my mother did, and we were talking about that earlier. Tell me how you did that.
Well, my brother and I, we used to go out to the farm as kids and for fun. And we had a couple that worked for my dad, named I think Weta and King. And she made us a cotton sack, just a little small one.
Oh, wow.
And they were picking cotton, so we did it for fun. We did pick cotton by hand, but it was just for game. And we had one picker, I think it was a $2.99 open top. And that was the only picker we had. We used to, always want to ride the cotton picker. But we'd finally get up there, we'd have a little handrail. It was no top, no air conditioning, nothing like it is now.
Nothing like it is now.
No, so that's kind of where we started from, and went from there to bigger pickers, and we then went to the cotton trailers, which it had forever, and then went from cotton trailers to Maju builders that packed it on the ground. Well, packed it on a steel pallet, and it was a pain in the butt because it'd be raining and muddy, you'd winch them up and it'd break everywhere, and cotton would go everywhere. It was just a mess, and they went to just stacking them straight on the ground, which was a lot better. Then they had the trucks would tilt and they'd tickle the cotton up on it and flip down and take it to the gin. And now we've got the cotton pickers that one-man show, and just runs through the field and wraps them up on the go, just like a big hay bale. And the only time the machine's got to stop is when they eat lunch. Wow. It's incredible. So my dad's riding around probably this morning, which I know he is, and he's looking for something to do.
We pass him every time.
The reason he's looking for something to do, Cindy, is because he's used to having Maju builders going, 5 or 6 people around the Maju builder picking up cotton. He's used to have bowl buggies going out to get the cotton from the cotton pickers.
Wow.
And that's tractors and more maintenance and everything. And then you got a guy running around working on everything. So, you got like 3 different stations, and it usually takes probably 20 folks to gather the crop.
Right.
And right now, as we speak, they're greasing up 2 cotton pickers, and 2 people are going to gather the crop.
Are you serious?
So my dad's 80 years old. He's used to doing all that work and running around, getting lunches and making sure everybody's rolling and in part of the action.
Right.
So now he's just kind of riding around, kind of looking for something to do.
And saying that, it's a good thing because technology can really speed up the process of getting this cotton done.
Yeah, it's incredible. It really is.
So tell us, when do you plant the cotton?
April, May,
April, May.
Just according to weather. But here lately we've been planting a little later because of all the rain and whatnot. Everything, the season's kind of moving on us, really.
Right,
It's always staying wet in the spring and having a hard time getting in the field. But the equipment we've got now, it's just, 3 times what we used to have, 4 times. So we can get in and get out. So,
right. So do you plant anything else in this field except for cotton?
Well, we rotate this field. We rotate it with cotton and corn. And
Okay,
sometimes we'll put beans in it. Most of the time we rotate all of cotton and corn ground because it's a sandy loam dirt. And most of the beans go on the the heavier ground, the buckshot. But we've got some variety of beans that perform really well on sand, and we actually just got through cutting my beans last night.
Oh, wow.
And then we're on my dad's and my brother's now, and Denon, my brother, he and my dad are getting everything ready to start picking now.
Okay.
Which I tried to call him early to get him to come on.
Yeah, we wanted him to come.
He didn't answer.
He's in the day-to-day operations with the cotton, and
I was
we
wanting him
wanted
to be here, really.
We'll do another one. I'd love to do one with you, Denon, and little Denon, because I think that
Blake.
would be great. And Blake,
Yeah, my son.
Let's talk about generations. Your granddaddy has been a farmer. Your great-granddaddy, your granddaddy, your daddy Denon. Now you and Denon, and you're passing it to Blake.
Yeah, he's a doer. He loves it all.
Does he?
Oh yeah, he's always wanting a new machine.
And this day and time, most of those millennials, I'm going to call them, they don't want any part of farming.
No,
they
not
want
at all.
the big city. They want to be in the technology world and those things. So to have that generational pass down to Blake, that has to just really. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, that's special. It really is, because a lot of people, and I know a lot of people that have big farms, and the kids go to college, they don't want to come back and have anything to do with it. At all. And Blake, we can't even get him to go to college. We can't even get him to go on a vacation. I said, hey, let's go somewhere. I'm by myself. I said, come on, go with me. I got work to do.
Yeah, I walked in.
I said, you sound like your papa.
Exactly. I bet Denon's out here every day riding these roads. Big Denon's out here riding these roads.
And the bad thing about it, I was talking to Greg, he's a manager. That's an incredible job. He told me the other day, he goes, you know what, Bubba? I go, what? Every time something messes up, your daddy drives up. I said, because he's riding all the time.
He wants to know what's going on. And I think it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
He does.
So when is the cotton season over? I know when I drove down Gooden Lake, I noticed a lot of the cotton has already been picked. You said they're on their way to pick this. So are we at the end of the season?
Well, really, probably about midway of harvest on cotton now. We're hoping it's going to stay dry, but we've got this hurricane brewing in the Gulf now, and that's going to be a pain. But we're probably going to be through with our cotton if we're lucky. We're going to get through with the beans. Of course, the corn's gone, and you got me this morning. I've been up since 4 loading fish.
Yeah.
See, we loaded 40,000 pounds of fish this morning, so I've been on the ball. But we made it. We got everything going, so that's good.
Absolutely. So tell me just a little bit about, I know that you also, like Blake, didn't want to venture out. You love the Delta. You love what you do. You built a big house right down the road. And it's funny, I walked in, I said, where's Blake? He said, Blake moved out. I said, you have this big house to yourself? Tell me what it's kind of like. Just, this is your hometown. You've been here all your life. Yeah. What is it like?
Well, being like me, I like to go a little myself, which everybody probably knows. But I like it here. And yesterday I was riding around. I'm going if I was in this town or the suburbs, I probably wouldn't like it very much, because when I get home, I can ride. I get in the Jeep. I can venture all over the farm. I can take my pistol. I can it's a little more freedom,
Right.
And I like it here. And the people in the Delta, the ones that are left here, are just the best people in the world. And along with eating out and stuff in some Delta restaurants, and but you kind of get dug into it.
Yeah.
And in the winter I get off.
Oh, yeah.
So in the winter I'm off 2 or 3 months. We still working around the farm doing day in, day out stuff, and office stuff and mechanical stuff, and looking at equipment and doing this and that, but we're kind of off about 3 months out of the year. So that makes it a little bit better living in a small place. You do get to get out and vacate and go for a while and come back, and by then you're kind of ready to come back.
You're ready to come home.
Yeah.
This is home. That's awesome. So as far as the cotton goes, what it means to Mississippi, farming in general, everything you've just said, the corn, the cotton, the fish, farming in general in the state of Mississippi is huge. And you don't really think about it. I was telling Bubba's not on social media, but I was telling Bubba, I said, somebody posted on Facebook a couple of weeks ago, why do we even have farmers? Why can't we just go to the store and buy vegetables? They come in a bag. Why can't we just go to the store and just get a shirt? Why is all that cotton out there? They don't get it. It's millennial. They don't get it.
I've heard this story before, personally. I actually met someone in Jackson, and she goes, a farmer? She just no such thing as a farmer. I go, yeah, it is. And she did come look at the farm, and she was just blown away.
Everything you have on came from a farm.
Actually, didn't even realize it was that people really farm. It's just from the city.
Yeah.
And I've heard it and I've seen it. So you're exactly right.
Well, we love showcasing things that just give a little bit of education about what we are about. We're about family. We're about generation. We're about tradition, and I just love it that Blake's going to continue on. Big Denon's tradition. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, they ride around a lot, and I like to be a fly on the wall in that car.
Oh, I would too.
Because they Blake's steady talking, and Daddy's probably doing it. Yeah.
You need
and
to
I'll say, what did y'all talk about? Oh, we think about buying this now. I'm going.
You need to put a recorder in the back seat one day.
Oh God,
that would tell some tales, wouldn't it?
Probably would.
Can you imagine the stories that your daddy has?
Ooh.
Just about farming, not just about just life, just about farming and a lot of years farming's not good.
No.
Something
and it was
good
hard
is good.
seeing when we came up. I mean, it really was, because we drove tractors Denon and I, and no cabs, no umbrellas, no nothing. And I was the redhead in the family, and nobody knew what sunscreen was then.
Takes after the Jeffries family.
I know you. But boy, I really got burnt. But now things are so technology has come so far, and when the air conditioning goes out on Blake's tractor, he goes, air conditioning's out, I'm getting off. I'm going like, boy, open the windows for a little while. With Denon and I, my dad bought a tractor one time, had a top on it. And we used to go out and work on Sundays because everybody was off, so we'd go out and work on Sundays. And I remember one day we got that new tractor was sitting there, it was a 4630. Had a metal top, and we fought over that tractor who was going to ride it because it had a top. There wasn't no cab, it was just a top.
Just a top. It's still
So I was the youngest one, so he got to drive the one top. So.
Lucky Denon.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But it's come a long ways, it really has. It really has. And Blake and the younger generation really don't realize what it really was like. Because, we even farmed rice back then and shovels. And we used to bring the hoe hands out. My dad would bring a sack full of money at lunch and pay them. And had to pay them in cash, and they had the big coolers. And I remember a lot of times my dad would punish us kind of in a way. I'm putting y'all on the hoe hand truck. And he would. And we'd ride in the back of the truck. It'd be 15 of us riding in the truck from field to field,
Just picking
And then
cotton.
you'd have an old man on the back of the truck, and he'd be the waterman, and he'd be having his files sharpening the holes. And but they'd never seen anything like that, and I'm kind of glad I came up through those eras. Because I know what it's like then and what it's like now, but it's changed.
So on the day-to-day operations, Denon is usually out here. We just discussed that. What is a day for a cotton farmer? I know y'all wake up early in the morning. Look, I was up at 4:30 this morning. Y'all know I'm a city slicker, but I can adapt real quick. I'm in love with this cotton. I'm going to take some of this cotton home. I'm going to make me a little cotton arrangement when I get to the house. But in saying that, most people don't realize you're up before daylight and you don't go to bed. We talked about you getting home last night, 9 o'clock. Tell us a little bit about the day, what that
Well,
looks
the thing
like.
about it, Cindy, when you're working like last night, we run equipment till after dark to get through the fields in the back of the back. But you go to work that afternoon and that night because you've got much labor out here, and it's not like going to an office where they've got a day-to-day job doing the same thing. Every day is different. They're doing a different job, a different piece of equipment, and different fields and different areas. You've got to make your mind up, and you've got to go to work that night to know what you're doing that morning.
Wow.
And you got to be out here telling everybody and directing.
Right.
Because, you got 6,000 acres here in a block. You got are spread out. You got to know what's going on, know what to do, and know where to send who and keep it all organized and keep the train going.
So do they get up? Like when I came down Good Lake, I saw some of them out, and it was 7 o'clock this morning. So do they get up early and they get the cotton? In other words, do they pick it wet? Like it's
No. Like right now, it's damp. If you can feel,
damp.
see, look.
Yeah.
See, look at the.
Oh yeah.
See, it's like water on top now.
Yeah.
See?
That's what I was
the
wondering.
dew,
How do
it's
they
all
pick
the dew.
that?
It's wet. So that cotton picker won't pick that. It'll wrap up. So what's going to happen in about 2 more hours, maybe 3? All this is going to air out and get kind of fluffy, and they'll start picking cotton. And right now, what they're doing is servicing the equipment and greasing and going over everything and make sure everything's ready for the day.
Gotcha.
After my dad goes by
and tells
this is
them
what
to
we're
do.
going to do.
I
And
love it.
Then Denon and Greg, they'll come up and maybe change it because they've got a plan too.
They'll let him
Sometimes
leave.
I think it's too many chiefs and not enough Indians.
He will head up to Papa's and have breakfast probably, and they'll change the whole plan, won't they?
Yeah, sometimes Well, I shouldn't say that, but sometimes that does happen.
Well, Denon's
lot.
not watching. He don't watch it,
He
does he?
doesn't watch it,
I love
no.
it. Well, like I said, I love showcasing things in the South that we love, and that this means a lot to our economy. Right now, the Mississippi Agriculture Commission is sponsoring the state fair. They're going to have all kinds of things down there that are agriculture related. They're going to have the pigs, they're going to have the cows, they're going to have all kinds of things. You can see it opens up tomorrow, and you get to see a little bit about the culture here. Just right downtown, right downtown Jackson. They're opening up at the fairgrounds. They're opening up the trademark, and also they're going to have a lot of things in the Coliseum itself. So I just thought it would be fitting this week, especially when they're kicking off this fair. Huge economic development event for this area.
And I'm glad they still have it.
Oh yeah. It was debatable. And they have some controversy over the masks and things, but it is what it is.
And it's outside.
It's outside, and the inside you have to wear your mask. But I just think it's great. They have a store in there, and I've noticed some of the bowls that are handmade, some of the just all kinds of things, wreaths that are made, from these cotton balls and things. So pop in there tomorrow. Make sure you go to the fair. Support that. It's all about the agriculture. So. Well, I have enjoyed this morning, learning about the cotton. I'm always learning.
I'm glad you came back, cuz.
I'll tell you, I never picked cotton. I have picked beans out at my mama Cobb. She would get us out there picking those beans, and she had lettuce and everything else, but I never picked cotton. It was across the street, but my family did. But I love my culture. I love my background, where I come from, and I love that my cousins are out here. And look, they're working together. I have another cousin that sings, Mike McMillan. He's out here singing his
He was just working for me, working with me about an hour ago.
I think that's great.
We started about 5, I guess.
So if you wonder why people are still in the Delta, this is why. It is about camaraderie. It's about, and when you come through Belzoni, people say, well, what is there to see? There's 4 stores. I said, no, you've got to go in. There's the, Catfish Museum, which is awesome. If you've never been in that Catfish Museum, I mean, it's great. They got great restaurants, and basically that's just about it. But there's great places to take pictures. So I'm sure I'm going to get all these people going, hey, can I go out to his cotton field and get me a picture?
Oh yeah, it'll be dust going everywhere tomorrow out here. Where was that field at?
On the last one, I really had people. I said, look, I can't give my resources away.
Yeah. I
said, it's private. You can't have a photo made out there.
Yeah, I was sitting on the ponds feeding, and my guys were calling, we got cars coming all down back through here. Bubba, I go, what? He said, well, when you were gone this weekend, it was motorcycles coming back here.
Oh, my goodness.
I said, what? He said, yeah, Harley Davidson. They're taking pictures back there.
That's awesome.
I went, oh, man.
Well, is there any one memory that you have, either growing up or now or with Blake, that stands out as a farmer here in Mississippi, whether it's cotton, whatever it is? Is there anything that stands out?
Well,
what keeps you going?
Well, I tell you what really stands out. It wasn't nothing with Blake. It's when we really first started our first job. And it's really about a half a mile over there. It's a back 40 that my dad was raised at, right over here. Mm-hmm. And the water came up, and we had 4 or 5 guys, old labor guys, and had an old tractor and a flatbed trailer. And the water came up. My dad put us to work picking up stumps, and that was stumps that floated up on that 40 acres back there.
Oh, wow.
And we walked for Saturday all day, Sunday all day, and we got paid $6 a day, picking up stumps, throwing it on that flatbed trailer. And I'll never forget that.
To get this ready to...
Yeah, so when the water would come up in the low areas, back then, you still had stumps and stuff in the ditch banks and whatnot, and they'd float out in your field. So you had to go pick stumps up.
Oh, wow.
So that was our first job, picking up stumps,
but
$6 a day.
If you think about that, and I'm just thinking about how God works, he did that so those little machines wouldn't run over those stumps, I'm guessing.
What's that now?
The picker.
Yeah, but all these fields, they got to be clean. I'm talking about very, very clean, because those pickers cost so much money. You got to have nothing in the field, nothing.
Right.
Because the other day we were running combines, and I was out checking around for some old house sites, because there's old house sites all through the Delta, and if you don't know where all those house sites are, you can have a problem, because over the years it might be a brick or cinder block kind of comes up, and you wouldn't think they come up, but after so much rain they'll start showing up, and you have to dig them up. But you really have to be careful on that. You do.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a lot of things in certain areas. Like my dad would come out. He's old school. He said, "Well, there's a house site over there. Y'all be careful. Y'all need to go over and if you checked it." Oh yeah, okay.
Well, that's awesome because he knows, doesn't he?
Oh yeah. So it's a lot to it than just looking out here and looking at the pretty cotton.
So when you put that cotton shirt on, or you eat that vegetable, or you go pick these pumpkins, it's pumpkin season right now. Thank a farmer. Thank a Mississippi farmer. We're out here in this beautiful cotton field. Thank you for joining me this morning.
Yeah, maybe we can get Denon and my dad next time.
We're gonna get Denon.
Maybe
and
they'll
your
answer the
dad.
phone.
Yeah. What I would love to do is get Denon and your dad at your house.
That'd be good.
Where it's comfortable,
Yeah.
and just have a round robin, just telling some stories.
Oh, that'd be incredible.
Great. We'll do that.
We might tell on each other though.
Well, we might have to have a discussion before of what we can tell.
We would.
Nessa needs to come on down. She needs to narrate.
Well, we probably won't get nothing said. She'll be talking.
Exactly. But Nessa will be like, "No, that's not the way it was."
Yeah.
She'll be narrating. We'll have
Yeah.
Nessa down that day
Yes.
too. We'll have a mimosa and some Bloody Marys and do it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be great.
Yeah, we'll do that one afternoon instead of the morning.
Yeah, that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Y'all, thank y'all for joining me. I love showcasing the things in Mississippi and the things that I love.
It's good to be back.
It's good to be back. It's always good to come home. It's always good to see your family, and it's good to visit. And every time I come, I go to the commissary and I shop a little bit. I
Yeah.
love their stuff down here. So remember, thank a farmer. Y'all have a great day. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you around the town.